There's got to be some joke there.
Bum, bum, bum.
This is the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Who is that joker? Well, let me share one more thing and then, share that score graphic for Henry. X. FBS. All right, here we go. Good morning, Tuscaloosa. Good morning, Tuscaloosa, Internet world, West Alabama. How are we doing today on a Friday? It's a football Friday right here on the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central, BamaCentral.com. We're live in the Derek Daniels State Farm Studios. You're watching us on the Bama Central YouTube channel, on the Bama Central Facebook page. You're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. You can get the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. Subscribe, rate, review the show, share it with a friend. Maybe give it 5 stars if you're on Apple Podcasts. We appreciate everybody who is doing that, participating in the show. We're going to have a lot of fun today on a football Friday. We're going to have a little dose of basketball. We're going to have obviously make our picks for the games, all the games, especially Alabama LSU. We're going to pick our 3 players to watch, give you our keys to the game, and just have a lot of fun with Mason Woods. You follow Mason Woods at MAWoods_ on the Twitter machine. We want to tell you we are brought to you by Strength Roofing and Siding. When severe weather strikes, your roof is your home's first line of defense. Storms with high winds, heavy rains, and hail can cause serious damage that isn't always visible from the ground. At Strength Roofing and Siding, we specialize in storm and hail damage, roof repair and restoration across central Mississippi and Alabama. Call them today at 205-858-9050. They'll come out, give you a free roof inspection, make sure that your roof is good to go, give you the peace of mind that you need for just living in your home. It's about to be the winter season, and you got the spring storm season right behind it. So you may as well go ahead and get ahead of it by calling Strength Roofing and Siding at 205-858-9050 to make sure your roof is in good shape. Well, like I said, we are going to have a lot of fun, and Mason Woods has been with us all week. Mason has got a great story from the Boston College recruits about the Bill O'Brien blow-up. It seems like at least the recruits all loved it. Basically, that's my coach. We're all fired up. Everything. These things take time. I know, Mason, you're jumping in and out of here. It's probably the internet, and that's A-okay.
I'm trying to,
they can still hear you, though. So you'll get back in. I need to download this voicemail from Dax. I did not do that. People can call us on the voicemail line at 205-462-7340, extension 800, if you want to be a part of the show. I know Dax has a prediction voicemail for us. I read the transcript, so I'm looking forward to playing it. And we're going to have a lot of fun here on the show. But Saturday's a huge, huge day. Huge day. It's going to be a little bit of a long day for the sports writers, but look, that is like not a factor at all. Like, it doesn't matter that we are excited to do it and excited to have a long day because Alabama's 2 biggest sports, football and basketball, have 2 huge opponents. Obviously, we've been focused all week on Alabama and LSU, and that will carry most of our focus today. But we also have a big basketball game, 11 a.m. on FS1. So wake up, have breakfast with the Tide Hoops instead. Watch your College Game Day if you're into that. But then instead of watching football, flip it over to Fox Sports 1 and watch Alabama take on St. John's, because it is going to be your first real taste and test of Alabama basketball. Yeah, you went on Monday and you smacked North Dakota. Honestly, who cares? They're like 300 something in Ken Palm. It doesn't matter. Alabama is a 6.5-point underdog against St. John's on Saturday. So it's a huge test. St. John's top 5, number 5, right? Yeah, number 5 St. John's. So it's a chance for Alabama to get a monstrous quad 1 win and to let you know exactly where this team stands. If Alabama gets blown out by 20, that will let you know where they stand. If Alabama squeaks by 5, that will let you know where they stand. Same sort of thing. So I'm really excited about that game. It's at 11 a.m. We're going to have a lot of fun with that, basically going 11 a.m. to 1:30. We'll write a couple stories. Then we'll be heading over to Bryant-Denny Stadium to get into position for Alabama's 6:30 contest against the LSU Bengal Tigers as they come into Bryant-Denny Stadium. Alabama is a 9.5-point favorite, I believe. Let me double check. Is it? Yeah, 9.5-point favorite against LSU. So underdog in the morning, favorite in the night, and it's going to be a big day. So Mason, good morning, and how you feeling about it?
I'm doing good this morning. I do think, you said something there that kind of made my brain start turning. I think we should just go ahead and craft our narratives for Alabama St. John's based on any outcome that could happen. A blowout loss. This just was an off night for the Tide.
Sure, great.
That's all it was. We're not down on this team. Just an off night. You'll bounce back, but you get a win. I mean, this is Final Four bound.
Indianapolis.
Absolutely.
All right.
I think we can just go ahead and lock those narratives in for this game.
I haven't been in Indianapolis since Alabama lost the 2021 national championship to Georgia. So
I've heard it's a great city.
It's an interesting city. I mean, I was only there for like a day and a half, so like I can't really speak to that. It was largely a work trip.
Fair.
But had a good time for that trip.
From what I have seen, just the general sentiment that I tend to see on the internet and things on on social media. People, for whatever reason, really love when Indy hosts events and Super Bowls or Final Fours, national championship, whatever it is. People really like it up there for some reason. I don't know. I've never been myself, but probably won't ever step foot up there. I hate the Colts.
Whew.
And I definitely don't want to go up there now that they're good. Oh.
Well, maybe
tough year.
Maybe the Steelers put the book out on them because
that'd be sweet.
The Steelers they got them last week.
I mean, that sure looked like Danny Dimes turning back into a pumpkin. I don't know. He's been a princess for far too long this season.
It seems like the Next Gen Analytics had Daniel Dimes throw into Daniel Jones throw into the first read like 60-70% of the time, and the Steelers were sitting on that first read, making them look a little silly.
Well, that would certainly be something, especially considering how much they have leveraged their future to go win a Super Bowl this season, trading away their next 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. We'll see.
Absolutely. So Alabama basketball, 11 a.m. number has fallen just a couple spots. I think it's fallen one spot. I think there were 23 in KenPom. Right. They're 24 in KenPom now.
I mean, at this point of the season,
it's too early.
Those
to
rankings
care.
Don't really mean anything anyway. There's not enough data points to really go off of.
Yeah, exactly. It's too early to care, but we do care anyways.
Sure.
Alabama is the 20th best offensive rating at 117.2. I think it's points per 100 possessions. I think that's what it is. And then Alabama is 35th in defense at 96.1. And pretty much Coach Oates wants a top 40 defense and a top 15, top 10 offense or so.
I think given the only data point this season being North Dakota, you would have liked to have seen that be a bit higher, probably.
Yes, absolutely. St. John's, only one game, 1-0. They're 14 in KenPom. So 5 in the AP poll, but 14 in KenPom. 19th best offense, 1 tick higher than Alabama. 19th best offensive rating, and 20th best defensive rating. So Alabama, just a little bit, just a hair behind them in each category. I watched till about the 14-minute mark, the 15-minute mark for St. John's Quinnipiac in the second half. So I watched the whole first half, and I watched about 4 or 5 minutes of the second half last night. And St. John's jumped all over them. They were up by 20 points in like a lightning bolt. And now they didn't keep stretching the lead. They didn't continue to stretch the lead, but they jumped like all over them and ended up winning 108 to 74. So that's only 26, and 8 is 30. Right? So they won by 32. So they did keep stretching a little, but like they jumped up to 20, and then they held, and then they ended up pulling away by a little bit more late in the game. Ended up shooting pretty well from 3-point line. They ended up with 40% from 3. Yeah, they were 8 of 19, 42% from 3. They turned over Quinnipiac 22 times, 22 total times, and they ended up scoring 32 points off turnovers. They ran pretty well. As soon as they got hands on balls, they were running up the floor. But when they were generate when it was okay. They made a basket. They kind of walked it up to a traditional style right there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at just pure box score watching here, but they did have 14 turnovers as well, or it looks like they did. So maybe a bit of a place Alabama can get some run there.
Zuby Ojafor, Zuby Ojafor was really the player that stood out to me. 17.6 rebounds, 3 assists, and a block. Was kind of that Mr. Do Everything forward. Bryce Hopkins,
that's a big man, 6'9", 245.
Yeah, that's going to be a load. Bryce Hopkins is a Kentucky/Arizona transfer. Kentucky, Providence, Kentucky, Providence, and now it's St. John's, who looks like a nice little two-way player as well. 8 points, 5 assists, and a steal. Dylan Mitchell, very good guard, is kind of guard type, 18 points, 7 rebounds, 4 steals. I thought that they had a really well-rounded team and a really, really deep team. They brought this guy, Sadiku Ibinayo, off the bench, 10 points, 3 rebounds, a steal, playing pretty well. I think he made a 3-pointer as well. Yeah, 1 for 1 for 3-point line, but was getting involved down in the paint. They just had a lot of players that was like, oh, man, this Jason Sannon guy came off the bench, 19 minutes, scored 14 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. So they just had so many pieces that I wonder, like, Coach Oates, we're going to hear from you at 12 o'clock today. Are you going to tell us that Latrell Wrightsell? Are you going to tell us, is Keaton Bristow, is Aiden Holloway available? Because it starts right there. If those 3 guys aren't available, or if 2 of those 3 guys are not available, then
we can add that narrative in.
Right.
Alabama was hurt. Doesn't matter. Game doesn't count.
Exactly. Because you're going to be up a creek without a paddle.
Yeah.
If you don't have your full complement of players, and obviously we know Jaleel Bethea is not going to be involved, but you want to at least go up there with an available roster, a full available roster. I do like the freshman that Alabama showed out on Monday,
certainly,
but I'd like for
much different environment.
Aiden Holloway to get that run, and I'd like for Latrell Wrightsell to get mixed in for his first action of the season, and I'd like to find out what Keaton Bristow has, because Keaton Bristow got a lot of summer buzz, fall buzz for hard hat, glue guy, tough guy, kind of playing the 4, and so if they are not available, well, Taylor Boboan, are you going to step up? Coach Oates lived in your rear end and basically called you out on the post-game press conference on Monday. Are you going to get anything from him on the glass? Are you going to get anything from him in the dirty categories, like the steals, the blocks? Are you going to
get those blue-collar points?
Right, exactly. I'm very concerned about this game. Let's go to Rick Pitino. Rick Pitino talking about Alabama. We'll wrap up the basketball talk in just a minute. We'll give our prediction, and then we'll turn it to football because Dax is on the voicemail line. We'll let Dax lead us in our football discussion. But first, here's Rick Pitino talking about exactly.
But now we're going to play a whole different type of ball club. A team that, watching them on tape, doesn't take but 8 or 9 seconds every possession to shoot. So it's we got to be ready for that, but we'll enjoy this win. And I thought the Michigan game was excellent. It'll get us ready for Alabama. But Alabama is the most unique team to play against in the country. I've played against them twice, once in the NCAA with Iona, and then once in the regular season with Iona. And it's a track meet. Fortunately, I think we can play that style. We're looking forward to it. They're very well coached. Nate's a good friend of mine, so we're looking forward to it.
How good of friends do you think they really are? When he says good friend, they talking weekly?
Not weekly, but I think that they are pretty.
I think they're friendly.
Yeah, I think they're friendly when they talk and when they run into circles. Well, for sure.
Yeah.
I think that Coach Pitino has the old school definition of, oh, we've never had any like beef, so we're
Sure.
good friends.
Yeah, that's
and,
fair.
And when I see him at dinner parties or at
We're friends until he crosses me.
right coaches events,
Yeah.
like I see him at coaches events, and he said, "Hey, how you doing? Oh, your team's been playing good. Your team's been playing good. All right, coach, good luck. All right, coach, good luck. We're friends." I think that's about as deep as it goes.
It does sound like, and that was a very
He's never
short
stolen
clip.
my recruit.
Yeah. And that was a short clip, a short blurb from a much longer press conference. But it does sound as if he, like, Rick Pitino, he respects Alabama. He knows what they're going up against here. He knows what Alabama can do. He knows what the ceiling is for this Alabama basketball team. And, I imagine he is preparing St. John's accordingly. I am too concerned about this game. I think the physicality just continues to be a question with Alabama. We didn't really see
North Dakota was like
all against North Dakota. And like, that was a great example for you to go out there and absolutely dominate from one end of the floor to the other. And we just didn't really see it. They played good. They played fine.
I think.
But like, I don't know. Their performance in that game did not give me any confidence in this going into a game against St. John's. I'll say that.
I totally agree with you. Ken Palm predicts St. John's 87, Alabama 81 is kind of their prediction. So you want to go ahead and give your prediction, and we'll start moving into football.
I'm going to say St. John's. I'm going to go a little bit lower scoring. Maybe I'll go 79 to 74. St. John's.
I like your score better. I like your score better than the Ken Palm analytics.
It just felt a little high.
I'll go. I'll go 76. I'll go 76. 66-67 is kind of what I think. 76-67 St. John's. So we'll find out tomorrow, 11 a.m. Hopefully I'm wrong. Yeah, exactly. Coach, clip it and put it
wrong.
put it in the locker room. It's all good. I will wear the egg on my face happily if you guys prove me wrong.
Yeah.
So we'll find out. We're going to talk to Coach Nate Oates at noon. There may or may not be some players that are available. It just kind of depends on their schedule. They're flying out pretty soon. We'll talk to Coach Oates at noon. That press conference will be on the BamaCentral YouTube channel. You can check it out right there. Let's go ahead and start turning to football, and with that, let's turn to the voicemail line. Dax is leading us on the conversation. Dax has been spot on with like most of his Friday predictions all year long. So make sure you pay close attention to him right here. 205-462-7340, extension 800. He's been right on it. So let's find out. We'll click the right button. Let's find out what Dax has to say about Alabama and LSU.
Guys, it is Dax. Happy Football Friday. We have LSU tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. at Bryant-Denny Stadium, Saban Field. I've been going back and forth as to whether I think we're going to win this handily or just barely win it. I know we're going to win it, but by how much exactly? Let's see. This is a good matchup for our O-line. LSU does not have any premier pass rushers. And hopefully during this bye week and the Gruden talk, they figured out how to get the offensive linemen to actually get good pad level and have good run blocking. Because if we could just open up some holes for our running backs, they 100% have the capability to squeeze through them and get some good yards. Even though that hasn't happened all season, I doubt they're going to get it fixed in the past 2 weeks. But we'll see. I think we're going to do a decent job running the ball, better than it has been. And that's just going to do some crazy things for our passing game because we've got Isaiah back. We got Lottie back. Ryan's probable, but he'll be out there some. I know that. I think LSU, everybody in the country has kind of turned their attention more towards Jeremy instead of Ryan now, which is really good for Ryan. I think Ty Simpson is going to have a good 350-yard day, I hope. A good 3 or 4 touchdowns, put him back at the top of the Heisman polls. And honestly, since I think the run game is going to do good, and I think our defense is going to be able to handle Garrett Nussmeier just fine because he's not a mobile quarterback, I think we're going to score around – we're going to put it in the 40s. I'm going to say we score 42, and then we're going to go LSU. LSU 27. So 42-27 cover, Roll Tide. Love you, boys. Let's beat LSU.
42-27 for Dax. Another a really solid passing day for Ty Simpson. 42-27?
Might be a little bit wider than I'm thinking, but I don't hate that.
That's 10 and 5, right? 15. I don't hate that either. I'm with Dax in the sense that I'm having a hard time figuring out if Alabama's going to win by 6 or if Alabama's going to win by 14-17.
Yeah. I'm right there with you on that. I mean, I think it kind of all falls on whether or not they can really make the run game go at all. And that's not, they need to go for 250 yards on the ground. Like,
can we go for 140?
You just need an okay running game. You just need enough of a run game to make the defense respect
135, 130.
Yeah.
With 100,
the bare minimum on the ground.
Right. With 107 of them coming from running backs.
Yeah.
Like, because we know, Ryan Grubb's going to get the ball into Jeremy's hands running the football, and I do think that Ty Simpson's going to run the ball for 38, 42, 45 yards, somewhere in that range. So, your running backs, they've been averaging 77 yards against power 4 opponents. Can we get you to 95? Can we get you to 95, please? And let the other ancillary parts of the running game take care of the rest.
Yeah. I think that will be the difference in this game. I'm with Dax where I could definitely see a situation where both teams can score a decent amount of points in this game. We've talked about LSU. You've talked about the RPO and things, like maybe giving them some opportunities this week to do that, and I could certainly see that happening. But yeah, I don't know that in the end this LSU team will be able to hang with Alabama. Kind of like our friend from LSU on SI this week was telling us. I think Alabama might just win this outright on talent alone.
All right, I think that's right, and I think that's a good transition to our keys to the game. We don't have a third party. We kind of had a shift in our plan, so we're only going to get 3 to 6 keys in the game, 2 to 4 keys in the game, and you're only going to get 6 players to watch instead of 9 or 12 like we have done in the past. But that is a-okay, and that's good. That just means we have to go straight to the source. We no messing around here. Mason, your keys are jangling. Pull them all out and let us know what are your keys for Alabama football tomorrow night in Bryant-Denny Stadium.
I mean, I hate to state the obvious, but we just talked about it. You got to get the run game going. You have to find some semblance of a respectable run game from the running backs. It cannot be I know we have talked about, it's okay to do these plays that are an extension of the run game. It's rushing yards nonetheless. And sure, that is all fine and dandy. But there is a mental aspect to imposing your will on a defense, especially on the ground. There is a mentality thing, that gets in the team's head. So I want to see that from Alabama this week. I think it's crucial to winning this game. It's just getting a little bit of a run game. So I'm going to roll with that. Defensively, I think keeping let me think of how to phrase this. Forcing Garrett Nussmeier into mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I think getting after him and forcing him off of his platform, forcing him into situations where he's throwing off balance, where he's throwing into tight windows that he maybe shouldn't be for trying to fit balls into. I think that's where you're going to beat Garrett Nussmeier, because I think if he's comfortable back there, he'll pick you apart. But the moment he gets off his balance, off his platform, out of the pocket a little bit, you maybe get a couple hits on him, and he'll start to fall and he'll start to dwindle, and maybe you can get a big play in the secondary. In third, I'm blanking a little bit on a third, and I think I might just take a bit of a cop-out answer here. Just no special teams blunders.
Woo!
Because things like that will allow a team to stay in a game. I don't really think that LSU should be able to stay in this game with Alabama at their current state. But that being said, you block punt and whatever it is, a muffed punt, whatever, insert any disaster play you want. Those are the kinds of things that can lead to an upset. So no special teams blunders, and you should come out here with a pretty clean win.
Special teams was a pretty big story in the LSU Texas A&M game.
Yeah.
LSU blocked a punt, went through the back of the end zone, so LSU got a safety in the first half to put them up 9-7. And then in the second half, LSU gave up a 78-yard punt return for a touchdown that really broke the game wide open. They came back 2 punts later. Their next 2 punts, LSU punts, Texas A&M muffs the punt, but got it back. They bounced off the returner's hand, off the returner's chest plate, and forward. A&M guy falls on it. They get it back. So opportunity for LSU to steal something here, steal 40, 50 yards of field position. Didn't get it. And then the next punt. So you've allowed a 78-yard punt return. You didn't get the fumble, didn't get the muff punt. The next punt was like a 38, 35-yard return that took them from deep in their own territory to right at midfield, a little past midfield. And so I think there are opportunities in the special teams game. I think that Jay Nunez and his team, special teams wise, has been solid. I don't think you can criticize Nunez that much for Connor Talty misses here or there. But as far as kick coverage and soundness on the special teams units, blocking up front. You haven't had a field goal block. You haven't had a punt block this year. You haven't gone and blocked a punt either.
I'm trying to think. Like, I'm racking my brain. I don't know that there's really been a ton of situations this season where you were sending guys all out to block a punt anyway.
Sure. But I think Nunez has had the team like, hey, we're not going to go break the game wide open, but we ain't going to be the problem either. So
I think that's like the perfect place for special teams to be. Look, I know that we would all love to have, insert whoever, Devin Hester back there returning kicks and punts. But like at the end of the day, you just need special teams to not mess it up.
Yeah. Cole Adams, catch that ball.
Yeah.
Wave the hand in the air, catch that ball. But I wonder if there's an opportunity this week after watching the LSU Texas A&M game, if Nunez is like, hey man, we can generate a big return this week.
You got a chance here.
So we'll see. I think that's a great one. But you definitely don't want to be the problem because, golly. Okay, I guess you did have a problem in the in the South Carolina game, bouncing on the ball off Mbakwe's leg.
Yeah.
If the play had been officiated properly, ifs and buts or candy and nuts, we'll all be having a Merry Christmas. But Mbakwe gets kind of pushed into the punt. Yeah, bottom line, it bounced off your leg. And you did lose possession there. I guess that's the biggest blunder, special teams blunder of the year.
Yeah, there's been a few big returns, I think, maybe, right, that I'm thinking of. And then might just be making them. I feel like there was maybe one against Vanderbilt. They had a decent return on one. Might be making that up, though. But regardless, I've been pretty satisfied with the special teams unit.
I don't remember that off the top of my head, but I'm not saying you're wrong.
Okay, I don't know. There's not been any glaring errors from a special team standpoint other than the ability to kick field goals, which does not fall on the coaching staff. Unfortunately, it does fall on Connor Talty.
Cameron Metzger jumping in 27-21 Bama. I believe it'll be closer than people think. Yeah, I think there's a chance. Yeah. I know I want to take them by 15, but I think there's a chance. All right, so my recipe for LSU, and Cam's all over it, is just running the mess out of the ball, running the play. Hey, we're going to pull from Vanderbilt. We're going to suck the play clock all the way down to 2, 3, 4 seconds. We're going to commit to 4 yards in a cloud of dust, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. And when you come up to stop it, that's when we'll let Garrett Nussmeier actually throw the ball. We're not going to let Garrett Nussmeier throw the ball until you start to load the box.
I do think the issue is that LSU first has to get those 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
I think they can.
Yeah, I think they can, but they've struggled a bit. It's not like they've been able to run the ball well this season. You do have to. They don't need a dominant run game to set up with the kind of offense that you're kind of saying. But like you do need to at least be able to get yourself into third and manageables and things like that. And if you're only getting 1 yard, 0 yards on first and down from your run game, that's not gonna set up that offense. Like I do think Alabama has a decent chance at being able to slow down LSU's run game because it's been weak this year. Also, we've talked, James Smith, Tim Keenan, all those guys up front, like they're gonna eat these young offensive linemen up.
I think they will, but I think the biggest issue has not really been, I think it hasn't been the fact that they've struggled running the ball. I think it's been the fact that they haven't leaned on it well enough. It's like,
we've just abandoned it too much. Yeah.
Caden Durham, 4.8 yards per carry.
Yeah.
Harlan Berry, 4.9 yards per carry. Jojuan Johnson, 4.7 yards per carry. All three of your running backs are almost to 5 yards a carry.
Sure.
Now, you can say, well, Joe, the team's playing the pass because that's what they've been doing. So, of course, when they do decide to run, it's open. Like, okay, flip,
all of these arguments, everything falls somewhere in the middle. Like, we have this conversation on the show once a month, it feels like.
Chicken or the egg, right?
It's always somewhere in the middle.
Are they running for good yards because the defense is playing the pass and because they're playing outside, opening up the box, and, okay, it's easier to block? I don't know. I think there's an element to that.
There's an element of both of it, yeah.
Right. So I've been of the. I think it's
very high skilled running backs with a mediocre offensive line.
Yes.
And potentially facing light boxes because they know they're throwing the ball so much.
Like right now, I'd take this trio of running backs over our trio of running backs.
Yeah.
And I might take in the running game.
Yeah.
In the running game, I might take their offensive line. In the passing game, I'm definitely taking Alabama's offensive line.
Sure. Yeah, it's basically a wash to me for as far as the run game goes.
Sorry, Jam.
But yeah, I'm with you on the running backs. I like Alabama's running backs. I think they're all good players. But LSU, they have some elite talent at the running back position.
That's what I think. I think Caden Durham and Harlan Berry are sick.
They're
nasty.
both very good.
I'd love to have them in our backfield.
I mean, it'd look the same though if they were in Alabama's backfield.
Probably because your offensive line is buns.
Yeah. The best running back in the world. He can only do so much behind a bad offensive line.
Walter Payton could do it. Yeah. All right. But I think Cam is all over it right here. I think it's going to be I think that's where I'm going to land when we get down to making our picks is a closer game. I do think, and shoot, I shouldn't go against Dax because he's been all over like he really has been
good.
Dot on all these games.
We need to start tracking them, or maybe we just tell Dax that he's got to start tracking his own picks.
I'm sure he can go back and find them. I'm sure we can too. I mean, it's only like 7 Friday episodes, 8 Friday episodes.
I imagine he's got a pretty good record right now.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so my keys to the game. My keys to the game are the first thing is going to be keeping Ty Simpson upright. Because I think that you have a decent recipe with LSU's pass rushers. Not that they're elite, but I think Peyton Pritchard is going to be your speed rush guy, and he's going to be looking at Caden Proctor like, okay, here's a chance to make some money. Patrick Payton. Peyton Pritchard is the guard for the Celtics, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Patrick Payton. Patrick Payton is a good speed rush guy, and Jack Pyburn is like a power rush guy.
Names.
And so you got Pyburn with the power, and you've got Patrick Payton with the speed rush, and it's like, oh, we're just going to put the power guy on Wilkin, and we're going to put the speed guy on Caden Proctor. And I think that could create some problems.
Sure.
Could. So I think it's winning in the pass game.
I have a feeling it's going to be once again a decent amount of Cuevas chipping.
Yes,
a lot of help from the running backs and the pass blocking, and hopefully that can alleviate some of these issues.
Yes, and so I think it's going to be in conjunction with that winning, the offensive line winning in the pass game, pass protecting well. It's going to be Ty Simpson just getting the ball out, because I think the wide receivers, the receiving core, tight ends, running backs, all the guys catching passes are going to have opportunities. And I don't think Ty has been, hey, let's hold the ball and try to throw it way down the field. Like, he hasn't really done that this year. That's not been the Jalen Milroe problem. But I do think that he's going to have to extra commit to, hey, I'll take a 4-yard completion, a 3-yard completion, a 2-yard completion. Just keep us on schedule. Because if the offensive line isn't going to run block, if you're not going to run block, you got to keep yourself out of 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. And I think we saw in the South Carolina game, but you're behind the sticks a lot and having to make some high-level throws and high-level catches, and just
that
didn't quite work out.
It was a good fourth quarter.
It was. But I think part of the reason that what was it, 14 play, 79-yard drive, 9 and change minutes or whatever, 8 and change minutes. It was, hey, I'm just going to take this 3-yard completion right here and just keep us moving.
Yeah, because the shots were not working in that game.
No, you were 1 for 9 on deep shots. So I think that you got to hold up in the pass game, and Ty, you just got to get the ball out, my man. You just got to get it out If it's Josh Cuevas for 2 yards, falls forward for a 3rd yard,
We'll take it.
All right, you're on schedule.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see some early attempts at maybe getting some completing some of these deep balls in the game. But like, if they're not there, they're not there. It is what it is. You can't just force them.
Yeah. So that's my number one key is to play well in the passing game by winning in pass protection and just getting the ball out to get just racking up completions. Just go 38 of 42.
3.8 yard average depth of target.
Yeah, we don't care. It doesn't matter because eventually one of these skill guys is going to break a tackle and start moving. And so I think that's probably my number one key. My number two key is the opposite of yours. You said get the run game going. Well, the run defense, the Alabama run defense has to be P's and Q's, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, everybody in their gap, everybody really on edge because of what we were just talking about with Caden Durham and Harlem Berry and Jojuan Johnson. That's a great name, Jojuan Johnson. So I do think that LSU, you promote the running backs coach to the head coach. You promote the offensive line coach to the offensive coordinator. They're going to say, we're big enough. We're man enough. We're tough enough. And they're going to try to punk Alabama up front. And I think it's very, very crucial for that. That's how you get, you were talking about getting to Garrett Nussmeier. That's how you get to the havoc plays. If you are in 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8, and then you let James Smith eat up this young offensive guard. You let Yanzi Pierre tear up this young offensive tackle, Weston Davis.
That's a good point.
I think that that's how you get there.
Because I mean, you can't just force those pass rush downs. You have to set them up.
Yeah. And number two, number three. Number three, I like.
I think you gave 3, didn't you? Keep Ty clean, get the pass game going, and then stop the run.
Perfect. We'll take that as 3. I was combining 1 and 2 as
I got
1.
You. But
we'll take that as 3 right there. We'll keep the pass protection high, pass protect well. Ty, get the ball out, just rack up completions, and stop the run. There we go. There's my 3 keys of the game.
I mean, you're winning the game if you do those 3 things.
Oh, here we go. Ollie Woods, quick outs and mixing some RPOs over the middle. Exactly. You haven't got the RPO. You haven't really been doing a lot of RPOs this year.
Love. Give me Lazier Brooks.
Lazier.
About an 80-yard slant. Just house it.
I think I think you really missed him last week. Yeah.
And he's gone.
I think you really missed him last
Nobody's catching him. A lot of people this week, a lot of folks on the Twitter machine telling you to take the Alabama points. Oh, if you get a Lazier Brooks touchdown, take that. Like, people seem to think he's going to have a big week.
Yeah, I think so too, because you're going to run off the defensive back. Like,
I don't think LSU will expect him.
LSU's doing 2 things in coverage. I saw it a couple times. Just basically, really 3. They are single high, man up, right? Come on, Ryan Grubb, crossers to death, just underneath crossers to death. Mesh
Ty
route.
throws that ball so well.
Just run your mesh pattern underneath, so like in his death right there. They're running straight cover 3. They're running inverted cover 2 a little bit, and then they're running a kind of a zone blitz package where they blitz a couple guys in the middle. And then run cover 3 behind it with a couple underneath the zones. So it's like you're either getting man free, you're getting cover 3, or you're getting inverted 2. Well, inverted 2, they're running off on the outsides. Just take these easy outside routes. Don't throw it. Do not. I don't think you need to throw it at what is it, number 4? Mansour Delane.
Yeah,
don't throw it at Mansour Delane. It's fine. Like, you have enough weapons. I would evaluate Ryan's health, and I would say, hey, Ryan, if you're good enough to go, but you're not good enough to be a monster and be a playmaker, will you just occupy Delane the whole time, and we'll just let Jeremy and Isaiah and Lazier, Rigo Scott, everybody else just kind of do some more? I think you're going to do a lot of we're running them off in that cover 3, or we're running them off in cover 1, and you're bringing something underneath. You're running something. You're running daggers. You're running mesh. And
there's your free 15 yards.
Yes, you're running sail, and then look, Ty, if you got a rush lane that's wide open, brother, take that 8 yards,
Yeah.
take that 12 yards, and slide.
I think that's a good, that should be the messaging, and it probably is every week, I'm sure. But like, there are situations I imagine where you maybe pass up an 8-yard gain for, I could get this 20 if I just wait another quarter second, but like in this game, don't do that. Like, if you see yards, go get yards.
They've been using Harold Perkins to spy quarterbacks, but I don't really know that Harold Perkins is the player that we thought he was as a sophomore freshman when he was dominating.
He's regressed so much because they've placed him in situations that are not suitable to his strengths as a player.
Absolutely. All right, so let me hit this ad read, and then we'll do 3 players to watch and make our picks, because we've been bantering for quite a while. We appreciate Ollie Woods, Cameron Metzger, Dax chiming in on the comment section and on the voicemail section, keeping us rolling.
RPO this week. Oh.
Yes, I think it's an area of the offense that hasn't really been explored yet. And if you're trying to get the run game going,
I mean, there does seem to be like this weird sense among people on Twitter that like, this is a week where Alabama's going to unlock some things.
I've seen that.
Maybe that's what it is.
I've seen that. We're brought to you by Strength Roofing and Siding, backed by 45 years of expertise, tens of thousands of roof installs, and over 400 five-star customer reviews across our company. Strength Roofing offers our customers the highest quality materials, fast install times, and market-leading extended warranties. Our Tuscaloosa local roofing experts provide expert residential roof replacement and comprehensive repair service for homeowners across the greater Tuscaloosa area. Call 205-858-9050 for your free roof inspection. Our man Zach Guffey and his cohorts will come out, check out your roof. They'll get on your roof and let you know how much longer your roof has. Is it you got 10 more years of life in it? Do you have a trouble spot that you need to address? It may just be a tiny spot. They may be replacing a few shingles and you're good to go. Are your screws a little loose on your metal roof? Is that what's causing the a little water to come in? Basically, they're going to give you a comprehensive roof examination and let you know the status of your roof so that you have peace of mind every night that you're in your home. And that's so invaluable. A lot of times we're not even thinking about our roofs, but you need to get it double checked. Call them at 205-858-9050. Just because you call them doesn't mean you're replacing your roof. They'll come out for free, check out your roof, let you know what you need, let you know how things are, the status of your roof. If you need to get it replaced, they'll work with your insurance company to make sure that that goes smoothly as well. Strength Roofing and Siding. Call them 205-858-9050. All right, my man, let's do 3 players to watch. It's been a long time since you've been first up, so you've often had to pivot off of the kids, off of Theo, off of Henry, off of others. Off last week, it was we had Katie and Hunter. So Mason Woods, first 3 picks. Who are your 3 players to watch? And as you think about it a little longer, we want to remind everybody that yesterday Zach Nagy for the LSU side took Harlem Berry. He took Weston Davis, and he took Patrick Payton. So he took the right tackle, Weston Davis. He took, obviously, the superstar running back, the freshman running back, Harlem Berry, and he took Patrick Payton as the speed rusher that has to wreck this game. So, Mason Woods, who are you taking your 3 players to watch for the Alabama Crimson Tide?
My first pick, and I'm going to steal a bit from the player's name that has been flooding my timeline this week, and I'm going to go with Lazier Brooks. I myself and many other people are expecting a bit of a breakout performance from him this game, coming back this week, facing off a team who maybe won't quite be ready for what he has as a player. I hope to see a big game from Lazier. Like I just said, I would love to see him house a little crossing route or something like that. Just like the old days, Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, Jalen Waddle, one of those type plays where it's just, oh, you caught the ball 4 yards in front of the line of scrimmage and ran it 80 more for a touchdown. Perfect. I think he's that type of player, absolutely, that can do those kinds of things. Oh, my second player. We're going to go to the offensive line, and I'm going to continue to watch Michael Carroll. I just want to see where he rotates in this week. The rotation continues to be a little strange along the offensive line. It's baffling to me that he's not solidified himself as the right tackle there. I just feel like we're not getting the highest level play from Wilkin. I like Wilkin. I was really high on him going into this season. I just don't know that you've gotten what you quite wanted out of him this year. And I think you definitely can get it if you just continue to give the freshman more and more reps and let him get more comfortable in the offense. So I'll be watching for him this weekend on the offensive line. And then on the defensive side, I'll go out on a limb a little bit with this one. Maybe a guy that, potentially could not get involved a whole lot, but if he does, I think he can make some big plays. Red Morgan. I think I picked him, maybe it was 2 weeks ago for the South Carolina game, maybe the week before. I can't quite remember. But I've been very high on him for a while. Reminds me of like a Malachi Moore type where he's just got that fire in him. He loves the Crimson Tide, and he's going out there to lay his body on the line for Bama. And I think you'll see that if he gets in the game against LSU.
I love it. You're going Michael Carroll, Red Morgan, and Lucia Brooks for Mason Woods, 3 players to watch. Mason, I'm just going to go back to Zach Nagy, and I'm taking all 3 opposite players. Instead of Harlan Berry, I'm taking you, Deontay Lawson, because I think that you have improved your play week in and week out. And, hey, if they're going to RPO Alabama to death or try to RPO Alabama to death, you're going to have some light boxes, sir. And you are going to have to be a man in the middle and be reading the gaps, getting into the right gaps, and tackling running backs by yourself. I think you had an A- game against South Carolina. Obviously, the huge rip out of Lenore Sellers towards the end, and was one of the leaders in tackles, but still missed some tackles as well. I think that you're going to have to continue to take steps in the consistency department. Deontay Lawson has to have a big game for Alabama's defense as the LSU tries to lean on a running game. They think that, Brian Kelly didn't run the ball enough. Well, we're in charge now, running backs coach, offensive line coach. We're going to run the ball. Deontay Lawson, you are my number 1 player to watch. Number 2 for me, I'm taking opposite Zach Nagy. Zach Nagy took Patrick Payton. I'm taking Caden Proctor. Caden did C+ against South Carolina, against Brian Thomas, and against Dylan Stewart.
F- against the speed rush.
Sure, right. And so you had 2 weeks off. Did you lose another 3.5 pounds? Are you a little faster in your feet? Will you be the reason the running game gets going? Like people, the guards have gotten a lot of attention and a lot of flack, as they should. But Caden, if you're a first-round pick, will you just collapse one side of the defensive line and say, "Hey guys, behind me, whoop, whoop, behind me"? It doesn't matter who's in front of us. We're going to collapse the line. We're going to take this tackle in front of me and move him so that the running back goes, "Oh man, that left side's wide open." So, like, you're going to have to be. You have to keep raising your game, Caden Proctor.
You got to play like the first-round pick we have been sold on you being.
Right. Otherwise, you're playing guard in the next level, and you may be playing guard anyways. But I think that this week, to keep Ty Simpson clean, you've got Patrick Payton. You've got a nice little edge rusher on their side. I think Zach Nagy took Payton. I'm taking Caden Proctor. And lastly, so he took Harlan Berry, he took Patrick Payton, and he took Weston Davis. So I'm taking Yanzi Pierre. Yanzi has elevated his level of play over the last 5 weeks or so, particularly culminating in that Tennessee game. But he was really good in the South Carolina game as well. You've got barbecue chicken on the other side, the old Shaquille O'Neal barbecue chicken. Well, brother, you've got to go get it this week. Can you get your hands on Garrett Nussmeier? Look, I like James Smith, and I think that LT Overton works hard, but I don't have any faith in their consistency. You've got a couple holes on LSU's offensive line and pass protection. Yanzi Pierre's got to be the one to take advantage of it. And ideally, you're getting another 2.5 sack game from Yanzi Pierre because he's in the backfield just creating all kinds of mess.
You need one guy to be that alpha.
Yes,
like
exactly.
You have missed that since Will Anderson left. Like Dallas Turner gave you a touch of that, but even he was kind of quiet at times. It wasn't quite the alpha dog that you need.
Yes.
Like you have missed that since the Terminator left, and you got to get it somewhere.
So I'm taking Deontay Lawson, Yanzi Pierre, and I'm taking Caden Proctor. If those 3 guys have good games, I think Alabama wins fairly comfortably. My faith in Proctor is not a 10.
6.5 right now.
Right. My faith in Lawson is about a 7-8.
I'm higher on him,
Yeah. And my faith in Pierre is probably about a 7-8. Yeah, 7 or 8. Yeah. So we'll see.
Proctor.
You just got to show it to us.
Yeah.
You just got to show it to us. Yesterday, The Athletic mocked the Chicago Bears to take Caden Proctor at pick 16.
Well, that'll be – keep in mind that is Caden Proctor after he's already 25 pounds lighter because he's talked to agents and things, and they've told him hey, this is not good for the NFL. You better drop some weight. That's what's going. That's what's going to happen. We're going to get to the draft process, and it's going to be. Look at Caden Proctor. Look at this. Look at the physical transformation. He's going to do a box jump video or something, and everybody will lose their minds. It's going to be like, we watched him for 3 years at Alabama, weigh 360 pounds. The moment he decides to go to the NFL, he decides to get an actual NFL tackle body. Sorry,
that's okay. I'm just hoping that. I'm just hoping that the Bears take an edge rusher, take a defensive lineman.
Yeah.
That's really
That's fair.
Keldrick Falk from Auburn.
I have gone through this personally with J.C. Latham. Like J.C. Latham left Alabama at 350 pounds or whatever he was, trimmed down a little bit ahead of the combine, has a nice combine, Titans pick him in the first round, trims down even more heading into this season. It's like, look at this guy. He looks like a Greek god out there, and he sucks.
I'm just hoping we go Keldrick Falk, Auburn defense, Auburn edge rusher, Keldrick Falk. I'd be happy with that. So we'll see. TJ Parker, Clemson, that'd be great as well. All right, let's make some picks for the weekend. Let's get into it. We've had a great show, great Football Friday. Appreciate everybody commenting on the program. Leave us a voicemail. We want to remind you the program is brought to you by Derek Daniels, State Farm Insurance. Call Derek for all of your insurance needs at 205-758-3391. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there for your home insurance, your life insurance, your auto insurance needs. Call him real quick. He's going to have Bobby. He's going to have Red. He's going to have Lane upstairs taking your phone call and giving you quick auto insurance quotes. Look, you don't have to switch. You just need the information, and once you get the information, you're going to think, wow, I should switch, because they are going to save you some money and give you local coverage that you can count on. You want an insurance agent that knows what road you're on when you have a wreck and you say, hey, I got in an accident, so that they can help you out. And you want an insurance agent that knows which home repairman to send to your house, because they're local and they know these guys. I had an issue in the summer. He had me a list of people, and they all came out of the house within a day and a half, and boom, I was back online. And I really, really appreciate Derek Daniel for doing that. That's the benefit of having a local agent. So call him at 205-758-3391. Find out how much money Derek Daniel can save you today. All right, Mason Woods, I think we got actually a pretty good slate of games this week, particularly 11 a.m. BYU Texas Tech. It really stands out. We're not going to be watching BYU Texas Tech because we're going to be watching Alabama SMU. Maybe we'll Alabama St. John, excuse me. We're going to be double screening.
Yeah, that'll be on mute.
Right, exactly. We'll be double screening. But let's start here. Let's start let's start with BYU Texas Tech. Texas Tech 11.5-point favorite. Texas Tech 8-1, number 8. BYU 8-0, number 7. And this will basically take you into the lead of the Big 12 and almost put you into the playoff with a win.
Now, hand up. I've watched maybe a full game of football total from both of these teams this year. Quarters at a time, a half here, a half there. I've not watched a ton of either of them. Maybe they are both legitimate and good, but my own personal bias tells me that I'm probably correct in saying that they're not true contenders for the national championship or anything like that.
I agree.
That being said, I think they're probably both on a pretty similar level where they're going to be 10 or so win teams, get into the first round of the playoff, and maybe lose. They're both right on that level. I guess I'll roll with Texas Tech in this one. They're at home. You got game day coming. You got all Patrick Mahomes coming back home, whatever. You got all this. They're going to be wearing these cool uniforms, I think. So they'll feel, look good, feel good, play good. Yeah, I think I like Texas Tech in this one. I don't know. BYU, I think that they're fine. I'm not super sold on BYU. I'm not super sold on Texas Tech either, but I'm a little more so than I am on BYU, I guess.
I'm not sold on either team as well, but just for the sake of fun and for the sake of a quarterback wearing 47,
I hate it.
I'm taking
Bear Bachmeier.
I'll take BYU just for that fact. But I'm with you. I haven't watched that much of either team because I've been so hyper focused on Alabama. 11 a.m. also Battle of the Bulldogs. Georgia is at Mississippi State. Georgia a 9.5-point road favorite.
I think this could be fun. I feel like this could be a fun one.
Mississippi State getting their first SEC win last week. They beat Arkansas, right? Yeah, they beat Arkansas 38-35. They were close with Tennessee, not close with A&M, very close with Florida, and very close with Texas.
They're feisty. Bulldogs are feisty. The Mississippi State Bulldogs, that is. Georgia's going to win this game, but I sure do like Mississippi State to cover.
I think I'll agree with that. Exactly. Georgia to win, Mississippi State to cover. And real quick, another 11 a.m. game. Indiana is at Penn State. Does Penn State have any fight left in their season?
Man, wouldn't that be awesome? Just to throw a wrench into everything right now if Penn State gets that upset victory. I don't think there's any chance in hell that's happening. Indiana's a good football team. They are steamrolling people. They will probably steamroll Penn State.
Ole Miss plays at the Citadel. Who cares? 2:30. Texas A&M is at Missouri. Another test for the Aggies. 8-0 Aggies. Another chance for Missouri. A chance for Missouri to save their season, to jump from 22 up to like 14 in the rankings. Texas A&M is a 6.5-point road favorite. Texas A&M beat them like a rented mule last season in College Station at a chance where Missouri was undefeated.
The same kind
and
of
it
thing,
was just,
basically.
I think it was flip-flopped. I think Missouri,
I guess it was, yeah.
Missouri was undefeated. They were trying to prove that they were for real, and A&M said, you are not for real. What are we thinking here? Marcel Reed going on the road again, 2:30, beating Missouri?
I know that conventional wisdom would tell me to pick Missouri in this game because Texas A&M is due for a letdown spot, but I just can't do it. I just think Texas A&M is probably going to win this game handily. I think they will go into Missouri. They will go into Columbia, into Faurot Field there, and I think they will cover that spread, and I think they will unfortunately beat the Tigers by a decent margin. I like Texas A&M by like 10 or 14 in this game.
I agree. I know that Missouri's had 2 weeks off, and they are debuting
a true freshman
quarterback, Zollers.
Yeah,
Matt Zollers.
Which, look,
they say he's the truth.
Yes, that has been the consensus among Missouri fans. It's like Bo Prabula is great and all, but we're all waiting until Matt Zollers takes over. Now, obviously, he's been thrown into the fire a bit earlier than you anticipated, but maybe he is the real deal. He looked pretty decent in limited action.
Yeah, I'm still taking A&M.
Yeah,
I think that defense is real nasty.
I think that's almost a worst case scenario to be making. Your first true start against is that defense.
Oregon is on the road at Iowa, their first real good game since losing to Indiana. Really, their first real good game on the schedule. They beat, obviously, at Penn State, but that win has turned into ugliness. They lost to Indiana. They are now on the road at Iowa, a 6.5-point favorite, 2:30 on CBS.
My own anti-Big Ten bias wants Oregon to just blow Iowa out of the water in this game, so we continue to hammer the narrative that, yes, the Big Ten is nothing but a very top-heavy league. But my gut kind of tells me that Iowa's going to hang in this one and could maybe even pull off an upset. I think I'm going to take Oregon, but I like Iowa to cover that.
I like Oregon to cover it late. This is how win and cover it late to kind of pull away in that fourth quarter.
It's going to be a gross game.
3:00, you've got another gross game. The first DJ Durkin took over as the interim coach. Golly, it took me a second.
And they only have one play caller.
Yeah,
he made that very clear.
That will be that was a shot at the former coach. It's like, this is stupid. We got a third down play caller. This is stupid. Auburn is at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt a 6.5-point favorite. Auburn with a really good defense. Are they going to get after Pavia? I think it's going to be an ugly game.
I think it is too. I think
17-10
Daniels is not really the answer there. Now, maybe this is the week we see Deuce Knight. Who knows? My gut tells me that Deuce Knight has informed the Auburn staff that he wishes to keep his red shirt and will not be participating in any football games this season. I have no insider information on that. I'm just speculating. Yeah, I like Vandy in this one. I have a feeling Vandy could maybe just blow them out.
20-10. That's how I'm feeling.
Yeah,
Vandy.
I just could see it.
Auburn's defense is still really good.
The defense is good. That's fair.
20-10.
I'm probably giving Vandy too much credit, but I like Vandy. You mean like a pretty decent margin. Like 36-7, something like that, like a blowout. I don't know why.
The Rats leaving.
Hey, Vandy, they're in this kind of weird spot right now where it's like, hey, you lost. You still can prove yourself. You still have a chance, but you got to go and prove it. And, I think Clark Lee is the type of coach to maybe really grab that opportunity by the bullhorns and take it.
I think Vandy will win. It will be, I'm sticking with 20-10. Florida is at Kentucky. I sent you the video of Zach Calzada last night. I sent everybody the video of Zach Calzada last night.
That was something.
If you didn't see it, backup quarterback Zach Calzada was responding to an internet troll, basically said, "Hey, you're bad at football." And Zach Calzada said, "Hey, count my money then, count my money then, count my money." And it was probably $3,000, maybe six.
A couple thousand.
Which,
Not
like,
a fair amount of money
it's
to have
good.
in cash.
Sure. Yes, for sure.
More money than I've probably ever held in cash in my entire life.
But are you going to be flexing $3,000 on an internet?
That's like your rent, dog. Like,
exactly.
You went and gave that to your landlord after you filmed that video.
Yeah, exactly. You made all your payments. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to send any message to me.
No, it was not. It was not enough money to be flexing that amount of money. I mean, he didn't even have like a big enough to like, look, I'm holding the phone up. Like it was, a stack of bills like that. And they were all hundreds.
All hundreds, dog. All hundreds.
It was, yeah, like you said, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 maybe. It was not a ton of money.
Bad look for Kentucky. I'm taking.
That's what I was gonna like. Is it a worse look for Zach Calzada or Kentucky that they're paying him to be their backup?
Kentucky.
I think it is for Kentucky also.
Bad vetting process.
I really think it is.
You got run out of Auburn. You got to run out of Texas A&M.
Got run out of Holy Cross, was it?
I guess he went to Holy Cross to rehabilitate his image. Man, all right. I'm taking Florida big.
Yeah,
even
like
on the
Florida.
road.
I don't know.
Florida smashes them.
Probably a decent. Yeah, probably a decent margin.
And that's basically it. I do have Nebraska, UCLA. Who cares? I've got Navy at Notre Dame. 7-1 Navy at Notre Dame. Notre Dame's still a 26.5-point favorite. Florida State at Clemson.
The Toilet Bowl.
That's kind of what I'm seeing for the weekend slate. A lot of things happen early, and then, of course, we finish at 6:30 right there in Bryant-Denny Stadium. LSU comes to town. Alabama, a 9.5-point favorite right there on ABC. Mason Woods, how about your final thoughts and your pick for Alabama against LSU?
I feel good about Alabama's chances in this game to cover that point spread. I talked about it, I think, on yesterday's show, maybe the day before, that it opened at 10. I didn't like 10. 9.5, though. I like that a little more. I think I'm going to pick Alabama to win this game 34-24. 10-point margin for the Crimson Tide.
Yeah. I think that okay. I think I'll lean Cameron's way.
Yeah.
I think that I lean that it's going to be LSU covers, Alabama wins. Because I think that LSU is going to make it close enough, and I think some of these elements here, I think that Alabama still will not run the ball. Yeah. I think that that Monsieur Delane will take away one of Alabama's three good receivers. I do think that I like your pick for Lazier Brooks as one of the players to watch. I do think if you can get Lazier Brooks going as sort of an X factor, it's like you don't really have enough guys to cover everyone and Lazier Brooks. But I don't know that LSU blitzes the mess out of teams. And so I don't really love Alabama's offensive line holding up the entire game. I think that Alabama is going to be able to manufacture enough drives to win. Yes, I do feel good about Alabama winning, just like Dax does and Cameron does. I think, should I just steal? No, I won't steal Cameron's score exactly. I will take 21-17. Yeah, somewhere right in there, because I think that that LSU is going to struggle to score, and I think it will be ugly. What is the over-under, just out of curiosity? The over-under, it's 49.5.
I was going to guess 46.5.
49.5. So 21 and 17 is 38, right? So that will be an easy under. I don't know. Cameron said 27-21. 27 and 21 is 48. That's right at the under. I think Cameron's exactly right, but I don't want to steal his score. I think 27-21 is really, 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 really going to be right on top of it. But in an effort to not steal his score, actually give me, that's what I'll do. That's what we'll do. 28-24. It hits the over just barely. 28-24. Alabama wins. LSU covers. I'll take 28-24. That's how I'll settle.
We like it.
And that'll do it for us. So we're going to have a huge Saturday. We want to remind you the voicemail line will be open on Saturday, really anytime, any day. You can call, give us your reaction to Alabama and St. John's. You can give us your reaction to Alabama and LSU. we're going to have a big day on Monday. We are going to get into LSU reaction, get you started on Oklahoma, get you Alabama St. John's reaction. Next week, you've got Alabama Purdue. So the basketball season is underway. Lots of big opponents, lots of big games on the schedule. We're going over to Coleman Coliseum to talk to head coach Nate Oates here in just a little bit before they jump on a plane and go up to New York. So it's going to be a big day on Bama Central. We want to encourage you to go and read. Henry Sklar has got a big feature on Latrell Wrightsell. Latrell Wrightsell probably will come back to the lineup tomorrow for his first action. And so we will hear about that from Coach Nate Oates, and we want you to read about that from Henry Sklar right there on BamaCentral.com. We appreciate everybody who's watched the show on YouTube, watched the show on the Bama Central Facebook page. Just go ahead and hit that share button right there on the Facebook page if you like that, or you can go find it on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify. Share the show with a friend. Subscribe, rate, and review on all those platforms, whatever platform you like to use, so you never miss an episode. We talk Alabama sports 5 days a week, and we'll talk to you again on Monday right here on the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central, BamaCentral.com.